I'm going to invite you first to come into hero's pose. So you might set a block or 2 blocks underneath the view between the heels. And of course, if that's not comfortable or it becomes uncomfortable, always feel free to come to just a cross-legged seat. Beautiful. Let me hit play on this. So let's begin by taking a really long and deep breath. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and let the jaw and mouth relax as you let that long, deep breath release. And we'll take 3 more breaths just like this, long and deep. You might find your eyes wanting to soften or close. You might find some organic movement wanting to come into the body, and all of that is good and well. Letting that exhale release any way that it feels good. And then taking one more deep breath, the deepest breath that you've taken yet today. And at the bottom of that breath, let the body settle into position. Feel the chest broaden just a little bit. Let the sits bones ground down into the block. Feel your heart stacking right over top of the hips. And the center of the head aligning right over the center of the heart. Allow a sort of drainage, we'll call it, to take place here. Draining the thoughts from the mind, through the jaw and throat, draining down this mental energy towards the heart. Softening the heart and allowing that heart to melt down towards the ribs and towards the belly. And softening through the ribs and belly and letting that drain and soften down into the bowl of the pelvis. Take a few quiet breaths for yourself to feel into this sort of drainage, this sort of melting and settling. You might notice in this space thoughts, tasks, other sort of mental, emotional activity passing through your awareness. And at this moment, let's just make it a point to allow whatever comes to come, to let it pass on through like the clouds in the sky. Each thought, each little movement, each experience having its place in the sky, but also allowing it to pass. Making its way through the screen of your awareness so that we can encourage the energy to flow. Now let's bring one hand to the belly And bring the other hand over top of the heart. With the eyes still closed, breathe into the hand on your belly. Let it go. Just like those passing thoughts, those cloud-like sensations, breathe into your belly, let it come. Breathe out from the belly, let it go. We'll take one more breath into the hand on the belly. Feeling into a gentle posture and length through the spine. With our next 3 breaths, bring your attention to the hand on the heart. Breathing in through the belly, letting it rise to the heart. And simply letting it go. Breathing in. Breathing out. Calm, clear, and connected through the breath. Breathing in. Breathing out. Become aware of your posture, and we're going to tuck the hands under the armpits. Just kind of giving yourself a little wrap around the body, maybe a little more broadness across the chest, and a gentle reach up through the crown of the head. So we're sort of holding on to the upper ribs and upper lungs, and we'll take 3 more breaths into the expansion of the ribs. Breathing in from the belly, let it expand outwards into the hands. Letting it go. Breathing into the ribs. Let it go. One more deep breath, lifting up through the crown of the head. Breathe into the ribs. Let it go. We'll bring the hands down to a release from the body and bring them together. We're just going to rub the hands together here and generate a little heat in the palms to give ourselves a nice restorative start to practice. I'm going to just give the nervous system a little calm here. So once you feel a nice heat in the palms, shake off the hands and rest your forehead, eyes, and cheeks into the palms of the hands. Let your head be held. Take a nice, easy, soothing breath here. Relax through the jaw. Let it get dark behind the eyes. All signals to your nervous system that it's time to relax, that it's okay and safe to relax. Now use your fingers to rub right in the center of the forehead over what you might call the third eye. And then bring all the fingers to the center of the forehead and pull out towards the temples like you're opening up this space in the brain. When you get over to the temples, run the hands behind the ears like you're tucking hair back. Run the hands down the neck and hang on the tops of the shoulders. Give a little squeeze or massage on the traps. Take a deep breath in. And on an exhale, run the hands over the heart, one over top of the other, a little bow through your chin. And if you'd like to set an intention, take this moment now to breathe life into that intention. Beautiful. Release that intention. Sweep your arms out and overhead. Take a big stretch up to the sky, and as you exhale, draw the hands right down through center. Just a little sun breath. Inhale, synchronize, coming up with the hands. Exhale, hands dropped through center. One more time. Inhale, sweep out and around. And exhale, hands to center. Bring the hands in front of you, and we're going to come into a tabletop. You can move the block out of the way, lengthening from tailbone to crown of the head. Hide the feet behind the thighs, spread out the hands, and start to move your spine through cow and cat. Inhale, lower the belly, look forward. Exhale, round the back, draw in the chin and tailbone. Inhale, belly lowers, chest broadens. Exhale, round the back with an even arch to the spine, the best that you can to make it even. Inhale, belly lowers. Exhale, cat-like spine. Go through a couple more cycles here on your own, feeling it out. Breathing in and letting your breath determine when you breathe out and move. Right? Follow your breath. And then pause that movement as you come back through a neutral spine. Feel your arms strong, your spine long, and send your right leg back. Heel in line with the hips, left arm lifts. Make sure the head is not dipping down, crown is reaching forward, thumb is pointed up. Like a weather vane, start to cross over the center line of the body, going side to side. Keep pressing into your right hand so there's no collapse through the shoulder. Helps bring this line of energy through left and right sides of the body. It helps coordinate the mind and body. The next time you come through center, reach into that length and then bend the back knee and see if you can find the foot behind the back. Into a little back bend, letting that left shoulder open, gentle kick into the hand, look forward. And release, come down into tabletop and wag your hips side to side. Let the neck relax. Take a nice deep breath. Meeting back in tabletop, left leg shoots back. Draw in the low belly, right arm comes forward. Lots of integrity through the spine and through the left arm. When you found your balance, start to weather vane side to side. Your hand is like the north, the foot is like the south, and you're just kind of like a compass even, finding the direction. Breathe and become aware of how you hold your body in any position that we come through today. If you start to feel a little tense, maybe take a little break, reset. Become aware of tension in the shoulders and neck and chin and jaw. Come back through center, take a nice deep breath in and bend the knee, reach behind you for a baby back bend. Lifting the chest, lifting the gaze. Breathe. And release into table. Wag your tail side to side. We're going to circle the neck here, letting the crown of the head drop down. And then just doing a big circle. Left ear comes to left shoulder. Start to lift up through the crown and go all the way around. After your third circle, pause when the head is down and switch sides. Right ear comes to right shoulder. Circle the head around. Feel the low belly just gently hugging in. And when the chin gets back down to center, draw the hips back to the heels for child's pose. Extend your arms, let the head rest on a block or the mat. Keep the arms extended, elbows lifted off the mat, a little grip under the fingertips. Breathe into the skin of the back as if you could stretch the skin of the back. Actively reach apart through the fingers, from heart to fingertips and from hips to heels. stretching apart. On your next inhale, round the spine like a cat, coming forward into tabletop. And then if you'd like here, you could bring blocks underneath of your hands. You can see maybe how it feels. If you end up not wanting them, easy enough to remove. And we're going to come back into our tabletop. Now these blocks just make it a little bit easier here to step the right foot through between the hands. And I want you to try to not swing the leg out, but rather draw the knee to the nose, arch the back, and then step that right foot through between the hands. So we end up in a low runner's lunge. And start to rock your hips a little forward and backwards, just bringing in a little movement. And then find a stable version of the pose. Press into both feet. Find the right distance between the feet. And use those blocks to help elongate the spine. Maybe you even turn them up higher to help lift the heart, to elongate through the crown of the head. And then we'll bring the right hand to the hip, the left hand to the hip, and feel the hips in space. So your hips will lift a bit, beautiful, and just find that nice square position for the hips. Let that position help ground the feet, press into the feet evenly. Now keeping that alignment, start to shift your hips forward and down. Release left hand onto the block or mat. And then rotate through the spine and bring your right arm up to the sky into a twist. Reach your right hand behind the back for a half bind. See if you can find that left hip point. Open the right shoulder and chest and take a deep breath in. And let it go. Release your bind. Bring the arm all the way up and then down to the blocks or to the mat. Shift your hips back into half splits. Take the blocks with you if they're helpful right now. Hips stay relatively square. Enjoy the first stretch here. Maybe a little movement on this first one, pointing and flexing through the right foot, or even rotating the toes left and right. It can change the sensation in the hips and leg. And then 3 times we'll transition between low lunge and half splits. Let your breath guide you. Breathing in to begin to transition to low lunge. And exhale to pull the hips back, straighten the leg and fold. Inhale, low lunge. Draw the chest forward. Exhale, hips draw back, chest folds. One more time on your own. Awesome. The next time you come forward, tuck your back toe and lift the back leg into a high runner's lunge. If it helps, again, turn those blocks up a little higher to keep the spine long. Now our transition here will be between a pyramid type pose where we straighten both legs. You can come high onto the back toes. And then as you exhale, we're going to rebend the knee and look forward to low lunge. Sorry, I said the breath backwards here. Breathe in, low lunge. Exhale, straighten the legs and fold. Inhale, bend the knee, look forward. Exhale, straighten legs and fold. One more time, breathe in, lunge. Exhale, lift the hips, fold. Come through your runner's lunge, and we're going to hold here for 3 more breaths. Feeling into the strength of the legs. Lift up and out of the hip flexor. Feel that right hip fire up. And then we're going to lower the back knee, step back into tabletop just to remove those blocks for a moment. Send them out to the sides of the mat. And then tuck your toes for downward facing dog. Take a nice big stretch through the heels, from heart to hands, from hips to heels, reaching apart. A little movement if that feels good. Find the breath for yourself. 3 times transitioning between down dog to plank. Let your breath indicate when to move and then start your transition. Inhaling through plank. Exhale, down dog. Connect to your very center point and move from there, moving from your center. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lift from center, down dog. You have one more here on your own. Lower the knees down to the mat from down dog. 8-point salute. You're going to lower knees, chest, chin. Keep the butt lifted. And then slide on through to cobra. Press into the hands. Find your height of a back bend. Exhale and release. Press up. Try to do an actual push-up here. You can either have knees down or thighs lifted. And on a big breath, exhale, press away from the mat. Downward facing dog. Good job. Lower knees to the mat. If you use blocks on the other side, let's bring them in again here. And we're going to do that same flow now on the other side. So just take a moment, reset, and then when you're ready, draw the left knee to the nose, flex the ankle, and step that left foot through between the hands. Nice. Find your runner's lunge, starting with a little movement in the hips. Connect to your breath. Don't worry about what comes next. Just feel into this first invitation into a lunge. And then we'll hold the pose, so find a steady place to rest in your low lunge. Bring the left hand to the left hip. Bring the right hand to the right hip and press into the feet to lift head over heart over hips. Use hands on hips to align the hips. Feel the hip points balancing out in space, the shoulders drawing back. And then press the hips forward, keeping that relative alignment through the hips. Right hand comes down to a block or to the mat. And then rotate through the spine, lifting the left arm up to the sky. Open the hand at the top. Flip the palm back, half bind around the back. Try to find the right hip crease. Open the left shoulder. Nice deep breath in. And let it go. Release your bind. Left hand comes up and around to the blocker mat. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, half splits. Taking a moment on this first one to feel it out a bit. Point and flex through the left ankle. Roll the left toes right to left. And then find a steady place in the middle and begin to move with your breath. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half splits. 2 more times. Your breath is your guide. Calm, connected. One more time through both. Beautiful. The next time that you come forward, you'll tuck your back toe, lift the leg into a high runner's lunge, and continue to move. Inhale in your lunge. Exhale, straighten the legs, come high onto the back toes for a version of pyramid. Keep moving with your breath. Inhale is your lunge. Exhale is your fold. Good. Take that nice wide pyramid shape. Inhale, lunge. One more time, straighten the legs, fold forehead to the shin. And then we'll come into our lunge pose and hold here for 3 more breaths. Again, you might turn those blocks up, or maybe you come onto fingertips. Feel the right heel shooting back, the crown forward, and a little space between the left hip and the belly. Breathe in, breathe out. Strong and engaged legs. Spine long. Good. Release the right knee down. Take the blocks out of the way, stepping back into tabletop. Downward facing dog. Reaching from heart to fingertips. Breathing out from hips to heels. Let the head go. On your inhale, come forward to plank. On your exhale, downward facing dog. Roll through the spine. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, lift the hips, down dog. One more time, inhale, plank. Beautiful, planks, exhale, down dog. And then we'll lower the knees, lower the chest, lower the chin, 8-point salute. And come on through to your version of cobra, or maybe even up dog if you really want to engage those legs. Lower all the way down to the mat, and we'll do a nice strong push-up here. If you want to have those legs lifted, then tuck your toes. Take a nice deep breath in, hug your elbows in. Exhale, press everything off the mat. Downward facing dog. Very nice. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Bend the knee and open the hip. Gaze under the right shoulder. Straighten the right leg, lower the toes down, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts, bend the knee, open the hip, look under left arm. Straighten left leg, left toes come down. Take a walk to the front of your mat into a fold. When you get to the very front of the mat, let your head hang. Let the neck go. Maybe you say yes and no. You could hold on to opposite elbows. You guys know all the options here. And then we'll come halfway up, and we're going to hold it here. So this is another great place to have the blocks right under the shoulders. Find a straight spine, lifting up halfway. The legs become straight. Hips are right over top of the heels. Go to a place that you can hold. Feel the quads lifting. The legs strong. Breathe into the belly, the ribs. One more breath. Crown of the head reaching away. Breathe out, soften the knees, and fold all the way down. Let the head go. You can move those blocks off to the side of the mat. With the knees bent, sit the hips down and back and reach your arms past the ears into chair pose. Imagine you have one of those blocks between the hands and you're trying to put it onto the top shelf of something. And then use those really strong legs and press all the way up, lifting the hands. Exhale, release, arms come down into the sides. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, sun salute, fold all the way down. Let the head go. Halfway lift, breathe in, come to that flat spine. Exhale, bend the knees, refold. Chair pose, sit down and back, arms sweep up, imaginary block in the hands. Good, strong legs, lift all the way up, maybe even a little back bend at the top. And exhale, arms come out and down. One more time, inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Straight spine, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Bend the knees, chair pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Strong legs, lift up, breathe in. Exhale, arms down, breathe out. Take a pause, find your mountain pose. Bring a hand onto the belly. Bring a hand onto the heart. Let that mental energy drain down and filter through the throat, through the heart, through the belly, into the bowl of the pelvis. In this standing position, let that mental energy drain all the way down through the legs, feeling it drain right into the earth. Calm and connected. Let the hands come to the sides. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way out and overhead. Grab a hold of the left wrist and reach up and over into a side bend. Follow your own breath. Come in through center. Switch sides, hold onto the right wrist. Stretch up and over. Inhale, come up through center. Bend the knees, open the arms to the right into a twist. So your right arm goes back, left arm forward. Right hand is going to come down and up. Inhale through center. Exhale, bend the knees, open to the left. Left arm scoops down and up. Breathe in. Open to the right, little bend in the knees. Right hand scoops down and up. Breathe in. Open to the left. Left arm scoops down and up. One more time each way. Little chair pose as you twist to the right. Right arm scoops down and up. Good. To the left. Left arm scoops out, down and up. Reach up. And then exhale and swan dive. Fold all the way down. Take your fold for a moment. Take a deep breath. Let the head go. And then step onto the hands. Bend the knees as much as you need to bring the palms under the feet. We'll take 3 breaths, pulling up and away from the arms. It kind of is this sort of feeling of trying to stretch out of your back. So as you inhale, press into the feet. Elbows point out to the sides. Try to pull the hands out. Exhale, soften and refold. Let the head go. Inhale, pull up and away through the arms and back. Exhale, soften and fold. One more time. Inhale. Soften and fold. Let the hands go from under the feet. And this time we're going to roll up to stand. For more support, you can bring hands onto the knees or thighs and press your way up. Feel the spine stacking. Let the blood rebalance as you get to the top. Open the palms into Tadasana. Sweep the arms out and overhead. When the hands get overhead, interlace the fingers and press the palms up towards the sky. We're going to take one more side bend. feeling the ribs really flare open. Remember when we had our arms tucked and we breathed into the ribs? I want you to breathe into that same area under the armpits. So let's reach over to the right. Only go as far as you can hold. Balance the weight between heels and toes and breathe into the ribs. Come through center, follow your own breath, let it tell you when to move. And one more time, side bend to the left, ground into that right foot and breathe. Come in through center, release the arms all the way down and behind the back. Interlace the fingers behind the back, drawing the knuckles down and palms together. Squeezing the arms together on your back. Take 3 breaths right into the center of the sternum. Relaxing the jaw. Doing your best without force. Calm, connected. Keeping the bind of the arms, you can relax the squeeze of the shoulders. And we'll bend the knees and lift the arms overhead into a forward fold with this shoulder stretch. Let the head go. Breathe into any spaces that feel a little tight or stagnant. Widen through the upper arms. And then release, hands come all the way down. If you have those blocks handy, you can use them or bring hands to shins or thighs. Find your flat back. Breathe here again. Straight legs, quads lifting, spine long, crown reaching. You can either keep the blocks or bring hands down to the mat, and we'll take a big step back with the left foot. Pivot the back heel down into warrior 2. Cartwheel the arms open. Take a moment to find your posture and the right distance between the legs for you today. We'll find a little flow with the breath between peaceful warrior and extended side angle. Reach through the middle fingers. Follow your own breath. Your inhale brings you to peace. Your exhale brings you to your extended side angle. Breathing in, peace. Breathing out, stress. Find a flow. Find the breath in this moment. On your next one, we'll bring the hands all the way down, framing the front foot, and then we're going to find our pigeon pose from here. So through your lunge, heel toe your right foot across the mat and lower the right knee. Now before you come to resting pigeon, let's find a little back bend here. Let's make sure the hips are supported. You guys have your blocks, so if you want support under that right hip, go ahead and slide a block under and prop up onto the fingertips to lift the heart. Try to feel the chest broadening. If it's not compressing the lower back, you might even walk the hands back, opening the chest a little more. One more option here is to bend that back knee. Again, make sure not to compress the low back. Go slowly. Beautiful. Doesn't matter how far you go, connect to your breath. Find that clear, calm, connected breath. And then when you're ready is by listening to your own breath. You'll come to your resting pigeon. Folding down at your own pace. Maybe you use the other block here to support the chest or the head. And we'll take about a minute to hold the stretch. Reminding yourself in the slowness of what's important to you today. What is most important to you today? Becoming conscious of whatever arises when you ask this question, so that you can make a choice of where to direct your attention. We'll slowly begin to release. Please follow your breath as you rise. Tucking the back toe. Let's bring that back knee in a little bit so that we can step into a tabletop position. Maybe just noticing a little difference in the hips at this point. And then we're just going to step the left foot forward to come into the other side. Right toe tucks, and then pivot that right heel down to open up into your warrior two. Take your time, there's no rush to get there. Reaching out from shoulders to fingers. Reaching out from back edge of the foot to front toes. And with your breath, begin to flow. Inhale to peace. Exhale, extend. Appreciate your body as you move in between these poses without force or expectation, but being curious of the breath in this moment. Following the breath in this moment. Maybe it tells you to hold in a pose, and that's fine too. Listen and breathe. Get that connected to your breath. The next time that you come through extended, we'll bring the hands down to frame the front foot and find our pigeon pose on the other side. So square off those hips first in your lunge and then heel toe across your mat. Setting yourself up for success with props under the hips if needed. Lifting up onto fingertips. Make sure that those back toes are pointed straight back and that the right thigh is facing down on the mat. Same options as last time. Maybe the heart opens a little more. Make sure not to dump weight in the low back. If it's available, maybe that back leg bends. Go to your extent, the sides might be different. Check in with wherever you're at. Bringing as much awareness as you can to this moment, to the breath in this moment. And then follow this trail into resting pigeon. Your breath is like little breadcrumbs to follow. Dropping in. You have 1 minute of silence. Taking your last couple of breaths. Just saying goodbye to this pose for now. As you begin to follow your breath on the way out, pressing slowly up onto the hands. Walk that back knee in and step back into tabletop. You can wag your hips a little side to side. Shake it out, breathe it out. Then we'll come into a side plank here, a supported side plank. So let's pivot the left foot off the mat and the right leg down the mat, opening up the right arm to the sky. Stack your shoulders, stack the wrists. Ground into the outside edge of your right foot. Now bring the right hand all the way down towards the hip. The arm can be pretty straight here, sort of draping over the body. First position, breathing here. Grounding into right foot. Now reach the arm straight up to the sky. Press into the bottom hand, breathing here. Second position. Now extend the arm overhead, palm faces down. Keep the right foot grounded, reach in both directions. Third position, breathing here, opening through the ribs, through that whole outer seam of the body. Bring the right hand back up to second position, and then right hand to the right hip, first position. Press off of the left hand to come all the way up into a gate position. And we're going to switch sides from here. So you're just going to bring the right knee in, bring the right hand down, and switch sides. I don't know how you guys ended up on opposite sides of the mat, but that's okay. Left hand will come down along the body. First position. Lift the left arm straight up to the sky. Press through the middle back. Second position, open the chest. Third position, extend the arm. Active fingertips, grounded foot. Good, bring the hand back to second position, and then first position with the hand on the hip. Press into the bottom hand to come up through center, and then bring both knees together at the center of the mat. We're going to come into a camel pose. You could use your blocks again here. We've done this before of going through different stages of camels. So if you know that one is going to work better than the other, go to wherever you want to go because we're only going to do one today. As a reminder with the blocks, you can put those right on the outsides of the feet or tuck the toes so that you can come to the heels. Bringing your hands down to those supports or if you're taking an easier or a simpler version, a less back bendy version, you could have hands on hips. With just the intention here of lifting up the heart, gently pressing hips forward. A little energy here. Maybe a little heat as well, just helping to burn out anything that's in the way of the energy flowing. And then we'll release, bring the chin in, bring the hips back, the heart forward, and come to sit on the heels just for a moment in Hero's Pose. You can let the hands rest. Let's actually bring hands, if you'd like, to belly and to heart. And feel that pass through of the breath. Come on down to your mat, slowly, slowly. Have one block handy. And roll all the way down. Bring the knees into the chest when you get to the mat. Make sure that there's no hair tie in the way of the head. And take a little rock side to side across the sacrum. With the hands on the kneecaps, we'll come into a reclined frog pose. So sometimes we do frog on the belly. Here we're going to open the legs like frog legs and just use the weight of the arms to press the knees open. You can find a balance here of effort and ease. You don't have to press so hard. The weight of the arms is enough. Letting the knees drop open with gravity. You can kind of hold around the bottom of the knee to help keep the knees in position. Maybe letting the feet drop a bit. Breathe into the lowest part of the belly. Into the bowl of the pelvis. Now bring your feet together, knees can come in a bit, and slide the hands down to the ankles. Draw the heels to the pelvis, knees stay wide in a type of reclined cobbler's pose. Let it be easy, it doesn't need to feel like maximum stretch here, just bringing a little ease to the low back. You might feel the shoulder blades tucking underneath of you. The back of the neck is long, a natural curve. And then we'll turn this into happy baby, holding onto the outside edges of the feet or the big toes, and either half happy baby or full happy baby, bending and playing through the legs. How does the breath feel in this moment? And bring the feet down to the mat. Bring your arms out to a T. Bump your left hip to the center of the mat. Draw your knees in towards the chest and then roll to the left into a twist. Option to bring hand onto the outside of the thigh. Gaze can come the other way. Palm is turned up. Another option here is to extend the legs. So the right leg would shoot out to the side of the mat. The left leg could come down the mat. You could take one or both of those extensions, or neither. Go towards where your body's asking to go tonight. Slowly release, bringing the legs back in, bringing the knees back to center, and realign your hips. Let's go the other way. Hips bump over, right hip to the center. Draw the knees in towards your chest and roll to the right. Same options apply. Take a nice deep breath wherever you're at. And then start to unwind, bring the legs back, hips back to center, gaze back to center. And we'll grab a hold of that block one more time tonight and lift the hips up into a restorative bridge pose. Resting the sacrum on the block, finding a place to rest the arms. Trust where they go. Sometimes you'll see that the hands want to land on the body. Sometimes they want to take up a lot of space. So just noticing what your body's asking for tonight. And let's take 5 conscious breaths right into the belly. Breathing in, feel the belly lift. And as you breathe out, let the belly button drop to the spine, finding a little pause at the bottom of the breath. Long and deep, breathing in. Long breath out. Breathing in. Breathing out. All the way, every last sip of breath. 2 more, breathing in. Breathing out. 1 more together, breathing in. Breathing all the way out. And when you get to the bottom of that breath, you can slide the block out from under you and come into a final resting pose, spacing out the legs, spacing out the arms, and take a deep breath to settle into your mat. Let it all go here. And we have just a couple more minutes of silence to allow the natural flow of energy to balance, to connect, to help clear the pathways of the body and mind. I'll guide us back out together in just a couple minutes. Begin to feel where you release into the support. Exhaling into the ground and allowing the ground to hold you up. Take your time in your rising. Take your time feeling the new support under the seat as you rise. Feel into the support of your breath and the way that it holds your body in posture. Let's take a nice deep breath in and breathe into the space around you, breathing it in. And let it go. Breathe out into the space. Calm and connected. The bridge between your inner world and outer world. Breathe into the space around you. Breathe out into the space around you. Breathing in from the space around you. And breathing out. Let us bring our hands together. You can rest your hands wherever they feel comfortable today. Taking a moment for your prayers, for your gratitude. And to simply feel into the space you've created in your day and on your mat. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Thank you guys so much for joining me and allowing me to guide you through this practice. Namaste. Good night.